What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Matty here from Chill TCG. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a pretty fun list here. One that's, I don't know, I haven't really seen too many people talking about realistically, but one that actually makes a whole lot of sense. Today, we are taking a look at Eternatus VMAX. However, it's going to be a new version of Eternatus VMAX using a nice little draw engine, which did come out in Battle Styles. Now, of course, we are talking about the Crobat, the Drastic Draw Crobat, as well as the Golbat, which was released in Battle Styles. Awesome cards here. This holo rare is super cool. So we are running a 3-3-2 lineup here in the deck here. So of course the Zubat, the Crobat, Golbat, all of those cards from Battle Styles. The Zubat, nothing too crazy. You're just 50 HP. Retreat cost of 1, Dark type Zubat, nothing too crazy there. The Golbat though is really cool. So it also has discrete draw, which is when you evolve your Zubat on your bench into Golbat, you get to draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. And again, in E-turn we're running just usually we run a really high count of Dark Pokemon, and this is mainly just so that we can fill up our bench and do maximum damage. So of course, typically when we do that, we like to fill our bench with Crobat VMAXs, put those down every turn. Or not VMAX, just Vs, right? And when we do that, we get to draw cards. So that's definitely a plus. But now we have the Crobat, the single prize Crobat and Golbat, which we can populate our bench with, which also helps us draw more cards. So this is a very fast-paced version of Eternatus VMAX. And it's actually a lot better than people give it credit for. So Golbat here, when you evolve your Zubat, you get to draw 2 cards. And then when you evolve from your Crobat, or so Golbat into your Crobat, we have Drastic Draw on the Crobat. You draw 3 cards, and this is a Stage 2 Pokemon, so it's one of those things where you just like to get all your Zubats down on your bench pretty early on in the game, and then continuously evolve your Crobats, your Golbats, and just draw cards throughout the game and really kind of move through your deck quickly, which can be very advantageous when you're playing E-turn VMAX. So that's kind of the whole idea of the deck. Realistically, it's nothing too crazy. It's just super straight, basic E-turn, except we are running 22 Pokemon in the deck here. We have a 4 lineup of Crobat. We have a 4-3 lineup of E-turn V and VMAX. We have 3 Zigzagoons. The Goons in here, kind of just like placeholders. Again, like having Goon in E-turn is extremely important. It brings you up to 280 a lot of times to KO that that ADP, which is kind of the biggest reason why we're running the Goons, but can just be nice anyway for a multitude of other reasons. And then we've got the 3-3-2 lineup of the Zubat, Golbat, and Crobat. Now, you could run Scoop Up Nets in this deck because, of course, you can Scoop Up Crobat, and which puts all those cards back into your hand. And then, of course, you can reuse them in the same turn to evolve the Pokemon that are already the Zubat or the Golbat that are already down on your bench. So Scoop Up Nets could be really good. I just didn't find it entirely necessary because, with a deck like this, when you're running a lot of Stage 2 and Stage 1 Pokemon, you definitely want a lot of consistency, right? So that's what this deck is really all about. So if you look, we have 1 Energy Spinner. That's just going to consistently help us find our energies. We have 9 energies, but running a spinner also helps because we do like to get that power accelerator off. Excuse me. On that first turn going second. That is pretty ideal for us. So Energy Spinner definitely going to help with that for sure. We have 4 Great Balls, 2 Level Balls, 4 Pokemon Communications, and 4 Quick Balls. So we have a lot of Pokemon Search. Altogether, I think we have like 14 Pokemon Search cards, so definitely a lot. The Level Ball is going to help because we can grab our Zigzagoons, our Zubats, and our Golbats, right? Which are all very important Pokemon. So Level Ball going to be pretty helpful in this deck, going to make it a little bit more consistent. And then, the 4 Quick Ball, 4 Calm, 4 Great Ball, obviously pretty important. I wanted to run a high count of Pokemon Communications in the deck, specifically because we have a lot of those Stage 1 and Stage 2 Pokemon. A lot of times we're going to be looking for basics, especially earlier in the game, so the Pokécom's going to help us find our basics more often than not. And then we just have 4 Switch cards. I thought about running Escape Rope in the deck, but for the most part, it's actually not that beneficial. We are running a high count of boss, so 4 bosses orders. And with a deck like this that's drawing so rapidly, we almost always have access or gain access to a boss's orders throughout our turns. So that's really not too much of a big problem. Running Escape Rope, we don't really need more than 4 bosses orders since we're drawing so many cards throughout the game anyway, which is a big advantage of this deck. Being able to draw so many cards throughout the game means that we're almost always able to find one of our bosses orders, which is definitely really nice. Then we have 4 Marnies just as some extra draw support. Again, we don't really like to discard a lot of cards from this deck. Most of the Pokemon that are Stage 1 and Stage 2s we would like to keep. A lot of that Pokemon Search or energies we'd like to keep. We want to conserve all the cards in our deck. Which is why we have 4 Marnies, and we do have 2 Professor's Researches just on top of that. It's the next best, draw supporter that we could put in here. I thought about running Bruno, but Research kind of just seems to be the best case scenario. We can often play Research at the end of our hands when we have like maybe just 1 or 2 cards, or hopefully no cards in our hand, right? That's going to be pretty good. timing to play research. So we might discard a couple cards throughout the game, but it's more worth it to make sure that we're not just absolutely top decking and bricking, right? And then on to energies, we have 3 weakness guard energies and 6 basic dark. Weakness guard is almost entirely needed right now in the format with how many Urgifus are running around and just fighting type decks in general. And then, of course, you know, the 6 darks. I didn't really see too much of a need to run hiding energy in the deck, although it could be pretty nice. There's just a lot of fan of waves and a lot of energy removal Giratina going around, so I think the basic darks are going to be probably the best thing. Also works with Spinner and works with Power Accelerator and things like that. So definitely basic dark seems to be the way to go. So that's the deck. It's actually pretty basic. We play this deck just like a normal E-turn. We do kind of struggle sometimes with hammers, but that's why we like to get our Power Accelerator off on our first turn. So hammers can be a little bit annoying. Also, we don't have too many switching options, and most of our Pokemon have pretty high retreat cost. One thing to note is the Crobat does have free retreat, so it actually works as a pretty good pivot. So once you get a Crobat down on your bench, it's actually really good to have that there as just sort of a free retreat pivot, which is going to be definitely really good. But yeah, I mean, that's the deck, guys. It's pretty simple, very standard. However, it's actually incredibly fun to play. I really enjoy it. It's just a new way to play Eternatus VMAX. Eternatus VMAX is an extremely powerful Pokemon, so no matter really how you run it, you're going to see some success. Is this the best way to play Eternatus? You know, right now in the format, I probably would say no, because Hammers is just super good. You don't want to pass up on Hammers. Even Big Charms could be extremely useful right now. So there's a lot of different ways that you could be playing Eternatus. There's not a lot of space in this deck, with a deck like this running so many Stage 1 and Stage 2 Pokemon, you really got to go all in on the consistency. So we do not have Phoebe in here. We do not have, like, any tool cards or stadiums. And we do not have, of course, the, what was it that I just said? I don't know. I forget. Oh, well. Oh, well. Yeah, anyway, this is Eternatus VMAX with Crobats. It's actually super fun. We're going to get into some gameplay, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. This is a list that should be pretty simple to build here. A lot of these cards have been around for a while. The Crobats, Zubats, Golbats, all pretty easily obtainable right now in battle styles. Those cards are fairly cheap, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you to build this deck. And definitely really fun. So if you guys are somebody who plays Eternatus VMAX, this might be, you know, a really good thing for you to just try out and play. Maybe just have some fun on the ladder. All right, let's get into some games, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's do it. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's see if we can't get some good gameplay with Crobat Eternatus. Pretty excited. We're playing Magua. Also probably playing Eternatus, so this could be pretty interesting for sure. If we're playing the Ditto, he might be playing Hammers. Like if we're playing the Mirror matchup, then we probably want to go second. See if we can't get a nice start here. We're gonna mulligan. We mulligan a lot, like fairly a lot with this list, just because we have so many Stage 1 and Stage 2 Pokemon. But we'll see if we can get a decent start here. So plenty of Pokemon Search right off the bat, and the Spinner, which is pretty good. We're going second though. So starting with 2 bosses orders like isn't super ideal realistically, but we'll see if we can get something rolling here. I don't know. I assume this guy's not playing Crobat in his E-turn list. He does get a second E-turn on the board there, and he's gonna calm away the third E-turn, which just happens to be his hand. This guy's got all the full arts. He's a E-turn connoisseur, it would seem. We see the Dark City come out, which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet for sure. Now we're kind of in an awkward situation. We're going to discard a boss here with the quick ball. We're going to look through the deck. Looks like we've got most of our things all set up. I think first and foremost, we do want to grab an E-turn V. I don't know if it's safe to Power Accelerator, just because we don't want to stay in the active and have us attack us first, right? Because he did get the energy out and he's got the E-turn on board. So not super ideal. Now we're going to... Yeah, we're actually going to discard both boss. It's not super ideal for us, really, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to go ahead, put the Zubat down on the board. Our only play here is to hope he doesn't have boss this turn. Like, realistically, that's, like, the best case scenario. We did discard 2 boss, which isn't good by any means. I'm actually going to grab 2 here. We're going to grab two Dark Energy. We are going to go ahead and... I don't know if I want to hold on to the Calm is the thing and just draw 4 cards. Might be the best case scenario, just to kind of increase the chances that we draw are able to get a VMAX next turn. Okay, so our hand is actually pretty good. I actually feel pretty comfortable just not doing anything here and just hoping that he doesn't have boss, right? So if he's able to attach, evolve, put some more Pokemon on his bench, and boss's orders, then we could be in a pretty difficult position here. So we do see the evolution come out, and there's the second energy. So boss's orders on his part wouldn't be ideal. The reason why we didn't power accelerator there is just because I kind of feel like it's better for us to get damage off on his E-turn first, realistically. But we'll see if that's actually the case here. We do see that this is poison E-turn, which is a little bit scary for us. But I don't think that he has what it takes to KO us anyway. And of course, he just has boss's orders in hand. So definitely pretty unfortunate for us. He is going to poison us, which is not at all like what we want, right? I mean, this is literally everything that we didn't want him to have, and he just happened to have it. So not much that we could really do there. He is going to go ahead and get the 150 off on the E-turn. Pretty much worst case scenario, but when we're playing against people, they typically seem to get pretty lucky, I think is how that goes. We're going to evolve the Zubat. Draw 2 cards here. Okay, so we have another E-turn V, which is pretty important. Now, I think what I can actually do here... I can't really let him KO this E-turn VMAX, though, right? Or this V, because that's just not really good for us at all. So I think what we need to do, actually... so he's doing 160. He's got 2 cards in his hand. I assume one of those is like a supporter or something, right? So he's probably going to be able to KO us. He just needs one more Pokemon down on the board, and he'll KO us next turn. Plus, we are poisoned, which isn't very good for us, really, at all. So I think what we have to do is just retreat again into this Goon. And now I'm going to go ahead and Level Ball. We're just going to grab a Zubat. And then we're going to calm it away just so we can get the VMAX out. I think it's important for us to get some E-turn VMAXs out here. We are going to evolve this one just to kind of have it later as an option. And now I am going to Crobat just for 3 here. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so now we have another E-turn V. So I'm actually going to go ahead and calm away that guy right there. We already Crobatted. I'm going to grab a Zubat. We're going to put that guy down. I just assume he doesn't have boss's orders in his hand, right? So now I'm actually going to put down this E-turn VMAX, and we're going to just research away the Marnie and the Crobat. Not super ideal, realistically. So now we just... now our hand isn't that bad, but it's not really phenomenal either. I mean, we have Calm. We're going to be able to Crobat and Golbat next turn. So I think that we're just going to go ahead and pass. I mean, let him KO the Zigzagoon. Unfortunate that he had the energy, the VMAX, and the boss's orders in his hand that turn, and now we see the research, which is fine because he's not going to be bosses ordering us, if that's even how you say it. So, okay, so we're not in a terrible position. We're not in a great position either. But I guess it just really comes down to like if he finds some more boss's orders throughout the game. Getting some good damage off on his E-turn VMAX here first is going to be really important, and it looks like we should be able to do that this turn. Again, we're kind of 2-hit KOing us, but the fact is that he got damage off on our E-turn VMAX there first, which is just unfortunate for us. He's going to go ahead and Quick Ball away the research, and he's going to Crobat for like 3 here, which I think is pretty interesting for him to do that this turn. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, for sure. I mean, this matchup really, even though I'm playing Crobats and he's playing Poison, like the matchup really is just going to come down to whoever kind of KOs a VMAX first. I'm okay with him taking 1 prize card here, just because it makes it a little bit more difficult for him to finish off, you know, his plays here. I'm going to go into the Golbat because we're going to evolve into the Crobat, and it will have free retreat. We do find the energy, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to evolve this Zubat right off the bat. Just straight up going to evolve it, draw a couple cards here. We do find the VMAX, so we're going to evolve into this, which is really good, because now we can calm away the Golbat, and we're going to grab the Crobat. We're going to evolve into this guy. We're going to draw 3 off this, so we're drawing pretty nicely. Things are kind of coming together here. We do get another VMAX, so we're going to go ahead and do that for sure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Level Ball. We're all out of Zubats, unfortunately, but we are going to be able to fill up our bench, which is nice. With just some plain old Zigzagoons. We're just going to ping the active. I don't think the Goon pings like actually matter really ever. So that's just something to keep in mind. We are going to free retreat into our E-turn VMAX. We have no hand disruption, which is pretty bad for us because he probably does have the VMAX here. Or sorry, the boss's orders in his hand. I just have to assume. He's only down 1, and he's got an 8-card hand. So very likely for him to have boss's orders. So this guy probably getting KO'd. Pretty unfortunate. But overall, we're not in a bad position. He just needs boss twice in order to win the game, right? So there's the first one. Like I said, he definitely has it. He's just gotten a bit more fortunate. We had to discard our boss's orders early in the game. So he's going to go down to 2 prize cards, right? But he didn't attach to his Etern VMAX last turn. It would be really good for us to try to get some hand disruption this turn, but I don't know if it's really going to be that possible. So we actually have the Crobat right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quick ball away the Golbat. I'm just going to grab... I'm actually not even going to grab anything, to be fair. We're going to attach the energy to him. Let's Great Ball here, see if we can find a Crobat. No, we're looking for the VMAX, so we're actually not going to grab that either. Now we're going to Crobat here. I guess we're looking for a Marnie, to be fair, and we do find it, which is nice. I'm actually going to quick ball. Well, the boss could be huge too, so I don't even know. I mean, the fact is that he probably has boss in his hand, right? So we probably have to Marnie him, which is a bit unfortunate. But you know what? It is what it is. And I'm wondering if we have another Crobat in our deck. No, we don't, because we discarded one earlier. That's what I was kind of trying to remember. So it looks like we're going to have to Marnie, which is fine. We're dropping him down to a 4-card hand. We're going to take 3 prize cards here. And we do draw into the boss, which is pretty good in an energy for next turn. So at least we're not in like the worst position of all time. He's got a 4-card hand. We're going to go up to an 8-card hand after we draw these cards. And then we'll draw an extra card. So having boss in hand is going to be pretty good. So if he whiffs on potentially like an energy or something like that this next turn, then we could be in a pretty good position. We're just going to try to deny him a boss. I assume he probably has like 4 in his deck, which could be pretty detrimental to us. He gets the double Toxicroak out. He's still not doing enough to one-hit KO us. He does have the energy in hand. So just a lot of unfortunate things overall kind of happening. Okay, and he does have the Marnie. Okay, all right. Now we just need energy, I think. Okay, so we have a Marnie ourselves. Pretty interesting. Now he's going to Great Ball, looking for the Crobat for sure, I would think. Now this game's just going to come down to whoever has boss, I think, unfortunately. Because he's going to go into this E-turn, he's going to attack us. If we find an energy, right, we're just going to switch into this guy, try to attack with it into his VMAX, and then hope, right, at least, and then just kind of hope that he doesn't have the boss and something like that. That's kind of the only way for this to go, I think. He actually goes into the Toxicroak, which I find to be interesting for sure. Yeah, okay, so he whiffed on just sort of... So, okay, so he's just not going to bring up his E-turn, I think, which is probably pretty smart. He might have... Oops, I misclicked there. That's fine. We have another switch. That was my bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I think that we have to... I don't know if I want to Marnie him again or if I want to research, because we need to draw into an energy, right? That's going to be the most important thing. So I'm actually going to research, and I'm just going to hope that he doesn't have the boss's orders in hand here. We do find the energy, which is nice. That's something at least. Now we're going to go into our fresh E-turn VMAX, and we're just going to go ahead, Dread End. We have boss in turn, so we win next turn. If he doesn't have boss in his hand, I'm going to just assume that he does, unfortunately. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Not much else we can really do. This matchup is really just about who has boss's orders or not. He's got a 5 or 6-card hand. It's extremely likely that he has boss. He's only down 2, 20 cards left in deck. If I'm willing to bet, you know, that he has boss, then he most likely does here. Yeah, I mean, again, right? I mean, it is what it is. Either way, I think we showcased this deck pretty well. We have 7 cards in our deck, so we've drawn through a lot more cards than he has, which does kind of showcase the deck quite a bit here. We might have gotten lucky. We'll see. I'm a little bit skeptical. The fact is that he went into the... Okay, so he's going to Marnie us, which is a little bit scary. We should have another boss's orders like at the bottom of our deck, right? Or near the bottom of our deck. Okay, so we don't draw into it. We have a chance to top deck it. This is getting a little bit sketchy. Yeah, I mean, we had 1 boss's orders in hand right there. I knew we had one in our 7-card deck as well. We just drew 4, so we have like a 1 in 3 chance of drawing into this boss's orders, I guess. Which could be pretty cool if we do it. I don't know if we will or not. Yeah, I mean, I think we showcased the deck pretty well in this game in particular. Again, really not much that we can do other than just sort of hope that we get boss's orders other than them getting it. And look at that, boys. You gotta love it, right? You gotta love these mirror matchups. Always very fun. We're just gonna tell them, you know, you have a good deck. Congratulations on just playing the super skillful mirror match. Probably pretty disrespectful on our part, but you know what? It is what it is. Let's get into another one. I think that was a pretty good showcase. I mean, I guess you guys could see how consistently we're able to move through our deck. I think the main reason why we won that game is because we were able to go down to such a small hand, or just go down to such a small number of cards in our deck, which was important because we had 2 boss's orders, right? Or we had that 1 boss's orders and only 7 cards in our deck. I could have played that much better, realistically, looking back on it, because I know that I probably could have played more cards before, like, I were to Marnie, just to guarantee it. Like, if I was big brain enough to realize, you know, that game would have come down to the boss, I could have thinned out the deck a little bit more and increased the chances to top deck that boss's orders there. We're going to go second. But I'm not that skilled. I'm not that big brained. So, unfortunately, no super high level gameplay coming from me, but maybe we can play a little bit better here in this second match. We start with 2 Crobats, but we have a Level Ball and a Great Ball, which is kind of interesting, right? And double Marnie as well, so double Crobat, double Marnie. He starts with Crobat, which is always not great whenever you're playing these decks here. Could we be seeing... Okay, so it's another E-turn mirror. I suppose everyone's just playing E-turn right now. Even after Battle Styles and all the Urshifu that's being played and on the ladder, everyone just seems to want to be playing E-turn because it's still, you know, perhaps the best deck in our format. He misses the energy attachment too, which is, like, actually insane. We're going to Level Ball right off the bat. I think grabbing our Zubat here is probably just going to be the most important thing. We want to get those Zubats on the board as early as possible. We're going to Great Ball. We don't find anything necessarily super good. I don't actually want to grab that, though, because we're going to be Crobatting, right? Yeah, we're actually not going to grab anything, and then we're just going to Crobat for, like, 2 cards. We find the Calm, though, which is good. Somewhat good, because now we can get our V down. We can attach to it. Very unlikely that we're going to be able to get a Power Accelerator off here. But either way, the fact is that we got an attachment on our first turn and he didn't, does put us at a disadvantage. But you know what? He could have... our hand's not great, but at least it's not too bad going into next turn. We could Power Accelerator. We just don't have another E-turn to Power Accelerator 2, which actually might just be the best option either way. So I'm actually just going to go in and get some damage off here. Yeah, might as well, right? Might as well just get some damage off. So now, realistically, if he evolves... he goes down to, or he's at 310 HP. Technically, nah, we still can't. I was going to say, like, technically maybe we could one-shot him next turn, but we don't. We see the Yveltal come out, and he puts down a 3rd Crobat, so already 3 Crobats down on his board. Very interesting. We have a Golbat next turn. I think the play here is to probably attach the energy, play the Crobat V, draw the cards, and then Golbat to draw more cards. And potentially get our board state filled up here. We do want to find the VMAX for sure, and we want to populate our board. Most definitely. And if we Crobat and Golbat, it's so funny. All the bats in this deck. Okay, so he is running hammers. Let's just hope he misses this. He doesn't, of course. So now that we're playing an E-turn with hammers, we're at an immediate disadvantage. Because Crushing Hammers is just an extremely good card in the matchup against E-turn. And now he's going to Power Accelerator. And if he attaches energy, wow, yeah. So that's an incredible 0-1 and then 1-2 split. Like switcheroo there, right? Actually, very bad. In the grand scheme of things, because of course him hitting that hammers was probably the reason that he's going to win this game, inevitably, right? Just because, like, there's not much else that we really can do. We're going to Quick Ball. I kind of want to get a Power Accelerator off here. It's not the best play, but I feel like it's better than putting down that Crobat and just drawing some cards. So that's actually what we're going to do here. We could potentially draw into a way to find the VMAX off this, or a supporter or something. We do draw the VMAX, which is nice. I don't actually want to evolve it, though, because I feel like Power Accelerating is going to be probably... Actually, you know what? It's probably not the best play, actually. So we're actually just going to do this. We're going to switch into the Zigzagoon. We're just going to feed him the Goon. Hopefully he doesn't have, like... Oh, I already played Crobat this turn. Oh, well. We're just going to hope that he doesn't have the boss this turn. That would be pretty detrimental to us. He needs boss, he needs energy, and he needs evolution. We saw the guy get it last game, but as long as he doesn't hit another hammer, then I'm kind of feeling okay. We're down 3 switch though, which is super bad. Actually, very, very bad, because we only have 1 other switch in our deck, and none of our other cards in our deck are switching options. We don't have any more. So we would honestly prefer him to KO the Zigzagoon here, right? That would actually be ideal. If he did that. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what he does here. He puts down a 3rd E-turn. And he's going to switch. Is it into the VMAX here? He probably has a Crobat. No, into the Yveltal. Yeah, that makes sense. Because he's got the free pivot here. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and he discards the boss, which is actually huge. So now we see the hammer come out. It's tails. Does he have another one? He does. Oh, let's go, boys. Double tails on the hammers. That's huge, right? Like, that might be the reason why we have a chance of winning this game, realistically. And now if he goes into this VMAX and he attacks the Zigzagoon. Okay, so this is actually exactly what we wanted, to be honest with you. We got definitely pretty lucky just then. But you know what? It is what it is. We're going to be able to get some damage off on his E-turn VMAX first, which I think is going to be the difference between us winning this matchup and not winning this matchup. I'm going to Crobat, leave the quick ball. Now we've used all of our Crobat Vs. Kind of unfortunate. But you know what? Could be worse. Could be worse for sure. So I'm actually... We haven't discarded a boss yet. We can afford to discard one boss. We're going to get rid of that VMAX. We're going to grab a Zubat. And we are, in fact, researching away this hand. Just so we could potentially draw into some more stuff that could be a bit better for us. This is interesting for sure. We're definitely going to pop this Great Ball. We find the Crobat, which is sweet. Which is always nice. We have 300 HP. We should be safe. I don't really see any way for him to do that extra 3 damage next turn. So I'm not, like, too worried. We have 2 goons in hand. Putting the extra goons on this E-turn actually is never going to matter. We're going to pop another Great Ball. It's another Crobat. Okay. I think we're just going to rock out and put down this goon. Actually, leaving this bench space open doesn't actually matter, like, realistically. So maybe I just hold out in case I have another Zubat that I can potentially put down eventually. But I'm just trying to think, actually, does it matter? Yeah, I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter. I'm just overthinking it. We're just going to go ahead and slap his E-turn for 240, putting us in a good position because I don't think he's able to one-shot our E-turn VMAX here. And next turn, we do have an energy we can attach. We can Marnie him, potentially draw some more cards with our Zubat and Crobat. We're already down to a 14-card deck, which is very good, realistically, because we know that we have 3 Boss's Orders. Well, at the most, 3 Boss's Orders. He's going to Marnie us. That's fine by us. Hopefully. I guess we just really want an energy. The rest of it doesn't actually matter too much. Okay, so we have Quick Ball and Calm, so we're going to be able to find a Golbat at least. And there are the 2 Boss's Orders. I think we have another one in deck. I didn't see one prized. I don't even remember if I checked my prize cards. He does attach to his benched E-turn, which isn't great for us, but to be fair, it's not that bad for us either way. And I think, yeah, so he's just going to go ahead and attack our active, which is good. We definitely just want an energy this turn, though. I think that's going to be, like, the primary, like, most important thing. So I don't want to burn that switch yet. We're going to Quick Ball away 1 boss. Probably not the best play. Oh, we actually don't even have any Golbat. So did we discard a Golbat? I don't think we did, but that's actually very bad. Because we're going to miss out on an energy attachment this turn. Which is very bad, actually. Missing out on an energy this turn is terrible. Because we did prize Golbat. Jeez, yeah. That's pretty bad. Okay, so... I mean, nothing we can really do, I suppose. Discarding that boss was probably not an ideal play then. Yeah, so I mean, we can't actually, like, draw any cards here because we prized the Golbat, which is pretty bad. We're going to calm that away. We're going to take the Crobat, I suppose, just in case we draw that Golbat off the prize cards. But missing an energy attachment there means I think that we pretty much lost this game. I don't think there's anything else that we can really do. Unless he misses boss next turn. But that being said, like, he's going to go down to 2 prize cards. We're going to go down to 3. It's going to be another 2 turns before we can even attack with our E-turn. So pretty bad. Like, the fact is that we missed energy that turn. We got Marnied into kind of a dead hand. Means that I don't think we can win this game ultimately. His hammer at the beginning of the game was actually the difference, which is a little bit sad. But you know what? There's only so much that we can do here. He's going to go ahead and take 3 prize cards. We can Marnie him, I suppose, which is something. But it's not what we want, right? It's not at all what we would like. All right, well, let's evolve the Golbat, draw some cards. Energy. Nope. Well, we have a spinner. So let's grab at least 1 dark, man. We had a lot of energies left in the deck, too. Pretty unfortunate for us to miss that, I think. Let's just bench this E-turn. We're going to calm away the Crobat because we don't want to put it on the bottom of the deck. Let's grab the Goon here. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and Marnie. What we could do is boss him, actually. How many switches is he down? He's down 2 switch, so boss is probably not the best decision, now that I think about it. And we can burn the switch here, because when we get KO'd, we'll have the free pivot, which I guess is fine. So I think we're going to have to Marnie him. He's only down 1 boss as well. So now, I guess, okay. So now we just hope he doesn't have boss's orders. Like, again, this is literally what these mirror matchups always come down to. It's funny that we've hit these the last 2 games in a row. But, yeah, now we just sit here and hope that he doesn't have the boss's orders. He's got the hammer, though. Yeah, there it is. Oh, let's go. Let's go, guys. We're getting so lucky on the hammers. Unlucky in general, though, just to be fair. The thing is, he only hit 1 hammer this game. He's going to draw into the boss off this Crobat anyway. Like, he only hit 1 hammer this game, but that was really all he needed to have a very distinct advantage in this matchup. You know what I mean? But now he's going to draw a fresh 6, and there's the boss's orders, most definitely. If not, I'm actually extremely surprised if he doesn't have it. Probably just BMing at this point. Okay, so he's going to Pal Pad just to increase the chances even further. Knowing that he doesn't have it in his deck, and that his bench is locked and he can't Crobat again, I guess the best play for us is to not Marnie him or anything. It's just gonna be to just go into our E-turn and you know, hope that he doesn't draw into the boss. We have the boss though in our hand, which is pretty sweet. Let's see if we can find that Crobat. There it is. Let's draw some more cards. Why not? Wow. All right, guys, it's going to come down. He probably has it. He's probably going to be able to get it. I don't want to Marnie him because I know he doesn't have it in his hand. So we're just going to attack him and hope he doesn't top deck this boss right here. Let's see. Did he? Did he do it? Hello? Don't do it to me. The fact that he attached 3 energies makes me think he doesn't. There's no way, bro. There's no way. What? How are we getting away with these games here, these mirror matches? Man. We're gonna give some more disrespect. You have a good deck, man. You should be running Crobats in your E-turn list. Yeah, well played, bro. We're gonna give him the heart though, just to know that, you know, make him know that this matchup is incredibly luck based. He missed 3 hammers, which we got super lucky. He whiffed boss, we got super lucky. Yeah, the last 2 games, I mean, honestly, when you're ever playing the mirror match, it usually comes down to, like, do you hit hammers if they're running hammers? Did you find the boss if you're playing the boss? That's really what it comes down to. But I think that the advantage that this deck has over other E-turn lists is the ability to play so many cards, to draw through so many cards of your deck. You're ultimately going to find your boss's orders more consistently than other E-turn lists, right? And it's different where with E-turn, once you run out of Crobats, once you run out of bench space, you're going to rely on those supporters. It's better with our deck because we can actually evolve our Pokemon that are already on our bench, even if the bench is full, to continue drawing cards, which is always extremely good. It's got its benefits. It really does. This Crobat E-turn list is really good. I do think running hammers is overall better in this current meta, especially in the mirror matchup. If you hit hammers against like 2 hammers in a row against an E-turn VMAX mirror match, you're probably just gonna win. That's just how it goes. Everyone hates hammers, but it's extraordinarily good in a lot of matchups, as well as ADP. But I do think that this deck has a pretty good ADP matchup as well. Anyway, that's going to be it. That's Crobat E-turn, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Maddie from Chill TCG. Let me know what you thought of this list. How do you guys play E-turn? Do you run Poison? Do you run Hammers? Do you run Crobats? Let me know. Let me know what you thought of this deck list. Big shout out to the channel members. You guys are absolutely fantastic. We just hit over 30 channel members, so the support has been phenomenal. Tonight, as I record this, is Chill Series number 26. We have like over 300 people registered. My bad. Already, which is huge. So I'm really, really excited for that. Don't forget to like, click subscribe, join if you want to become a channel member. Yeah, big shout out to Card Cavern trading cards as well. 5% off your entire order with code ChillTCG. Link will be down in the description below. The deck list is also down in the description below if you guys want to go check out the deck list. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so bad at outros. We're going to go. Goodbye. See ya.